There are really 9, as the cradle orbit is not occupied by Mercury. It is occupied by the last nebula or child, but that nebula has not consolidated into form so that it can be seen. It is there nevertheless, and its influence is felt. Thus the universe that our Earth is a part of contains 9 planets or atoms with their 9 orbits, which they follow in mathematical procession around the central sun or nucleus. You have been shown pictures of this creation as it came into being through orderly sequence. Something is happening to Neptune, the farthest removed planet from the sun. It has reached maturity and also its limit in velocity. It has received its full light charge and is ready to come forth as a sun. It is going into decline as the new nebula begins to take form, and the sun is ready to give birth to the 10th nebula. Before this expulsion takes place, Neptune has reached its limiting velocity in its spin around the central sun. It flies into space and explodes, then returns again to the aqueous. There it can again be taken up by the central sun to add more energy to that sun in order that more planets or atoms may come forth. In the universe of which our Earth is a part, there can be but 9 planets or particles spinning around the central sun at one time. Thus it is a constant round of birth, consolidation, then expansion, reaching the limiting velocity, flying off into space, exploding, disintegrating, then reassimilating by the sun in order to give forth new birth. Thus the sun is reassembling from the aqueous that which it sends out to again become aqueous. It is a continuous renewal through regeneration into new birth. Were it not for this process, the great central sun of the 91 universes, as well as the central suns of the different universes, would have been consumed long ago, and all would have returned to the infinite in which all substances exist. A wise intelligence that pervades all emanations and space calls the universes into form and starts them on their onward march. The sun or central nucleus never grows old nor dies. It accepts, absorbs, holds, and consolidates, then gives birth to the atom, yet it never diminishes, as it is forever receiving and absorbing into itself that which is given out. Thus regeneration and rebirth are going on all the time. Universes are being formed, expanding, and returning that which they have received. There is one round of progression from a low to a higher, then on to a higher attainment. The galaxy of 91 universes that our Earth and its galaxy of planets or atoms are one part of is but one galaxy in a still wider-flung universe of 91 galaxies that revolve around a still greater central nucleus or sun that has a mass 91,000 times greater than the first galaxy mentioned. This condition goes on and repeats itself by 91 almost indefinitely, the whole making up the great and infinite cosmos, the galaxies that comprise the Milky Way, as you call it. This cosmos is often called the atomic heat ray, the source of the sun's heat. This is not a cloud of stars in which your sun belongs. It is a nebula born or expelled from the great cosmic central sun, or nucleus, just mentioned. The sun, as you see it located in this nebula, is but a portion of the light rays from the sun. These particular rays are bent at an angle. As they enter mass, they are reflected until these bent and distorted rays make up the image of the sun and place it in a false position. These rays are reflected back so distinctly that you think you are actually looking at the sun. In like manner, many other planets or atoms are distorted by this phenomena. Where there seem many, there are few in comparison, yet the total number of the actual is calculated in many millions. By looking at the picture closely, you will see that these nebulae or their suns are not disk, but globular and round, flattened at the poles, just as our Earth is flattened. In looking at them, you are only observing the great flattened polar area. The stupendous mass of the great cosmic sun exerts so profound an effect upon light rays that they are reflected completely around the cosmos. They are also definitely affected and reflected by coming in contact with the atomic or cosmic rays, and their particles are thrown out of place to such an extent that thousands of images of planets and stars are reflected from one collection. Thus thousands of planets and stars appear to be misplaced, and many more thousands of the images are again reflected. When we look through the universe, the images show both sides, and we see the light that was released hundreds of millions of years before, which has made the complete round of the cosmos. Thus we get two images instead of one. One image is of the planet as it was hundreds of thousands of years ago, while the other is as it was hundreds of millions of years ago. This follows through the whole great cosmic order. In many instances, we are actually looking at the great past, and we can also see into the future by the same means. There is an invisible connection, like the thought or heart impulse, amplified billions of cycles through which spiritual orders go forth, that controls all of the universes. These great throbbing impulses, or heart throbs, go out through the intelligence which pervades the aqueous that surrounds the cosmos, which is its spiritual counterpart. It is these gigantic heart throbs that send the life currents into every atom of the complete cosmos, and keep them moving in perfect order and rhythm. In this infinite cosmos vastness, there can be no sick or discordant cells, as one sick or discordant cell would throw all out of unison. Then for a time chaos would result. This also pertains to the human organism when disturbed by discordant thought. It was from this central control that the term Godhead was evolved. The heartbeat of the human unit corresponds to this heart throb, although in miniature. Man is from and is a counterpart of the intelligence which has control of the whole aqueous source. He is coexistent with the source and draws all direct from that great aqueous reservoir, just as a great central sun draws from that source, but in greater degree because of his union with the greater intelligence which is directing the source. Man, the unit of humanity, is a well-organized divine universe, though infinitesimal compared with the great whole of the universes. Yet man, as the unit of humanity, when he assumes and takes actual charge of his divinity, is most necessary, as he is of the great intelligence that is before and in control of the whole divine plan of all of the universes. Thus, should all the universes be destroyed, man, in complete cooperation with primal intelligence, which interpenetrates and pervades all emanations in the aqueous as well as down to the lowliest physical forms, starting with light emanation, could rebuild all the universes. Should such a catastrophe occur, man not only has the power, but is the power that does resolve himself back into primal intelligence, wherein there is no destruction. When quiet again reigns and harmony is restored, it matters not to man, when he is back into primal intelligence, how many billions of ages pass to bring about primal perfection, in order that the whole process may be started over again. Here man maintains oneness with infinity and can afford to wait until the time is ripe for the bringing forth of the universes. Then, with the preserved consciousness of former experiences, he is better equipped to assist in the bringing forth of a more perfect and lasting condition. In this man can never fail, as he is more definite than any form, and failure is not written in his horizon or in his consciousness.